Hello, welcome back to Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald.
I'm bored.
And we are bringing you a rulebook rundown. Wow.
Of
A rule book rundown.
how to catch them all.
And a tutorial, exactly, on how to train them all.
Yeah.
For Dragon Eclipse by Awaken Realms.
Yeah, brand new game. Just got delivered not too long ago. We did the unboxing. That's up on our YouTube channel already. So if you check out videos before this, you'll find that. The cool thing here is they did a little booklet. So we did the Start Here booklet as part of our unboxing.
Yep.
And now we have the journey to go through, which is like a tutorial as well as almost like a first part playthrough.
Yeah, so they break this up really nicely, and it says in bold here, it's the unboxing instructions, 30 to 40 minutes. It's nothing super intense. It's really just telling you, okay, hey, there's a bunch of decks in this game. Here's how to stack them, and then you put them in. And putting them in is just literally putting things behind dividers. It's pretty simple. But yeah, so we're diving into the first journey. So this will give us the basics of how to play. So the first section is going to be a lot of like rule stuff, like a typical rulebook rundown. And then the second portion is them actually throwing you into the first scenario where you start the journey. So we're going to go through this and do that with you. When we do our actual playthrough at some point later on this year, we'll probably redo the very first scenario, not using the tutorial, but just kind of ourselves, so we have a little bit more control over that, some autonomy.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Here we go. So it says, this guide will walk you through the first scenario of the game, introduce it to the adventure crucial to play. The offers the first combat guide. This can be played solo or with 2 players. So you just start reading the rules and then follow instructions for starting the first scenario. Alrighty, so adventure rules. You must learn a few adventure rules before starting the first scenario. Read all the rules below and follow the instructions at the end of this section. So there's an introduction, little story here. 1,000 years ago, a great catastrophe shook the world, nearly destroying human civilization. The few remaining texts from those times tell dreadful stories of large-scale floods, seas withered, and hills suddenly surging upward. All the sources mention ubiquitous darkness. The 2 moons obscured the sun and cast a deep shadow on the world. But the world prevailed, thanks to the Dragon Guardians, who repelled the darkness and restored balance to nature. Or at least that is what the legends say when they describe the omnipotent dragons soaring the dark skies and fighting off the waves of evil, whatever the evil was. Humanity survived and eventually rebounded. Soon, some became interested in mystlings, creatures having the ability to affect elements, and discovered that with a bit of trust and respect, a bond could be formed with them. This bond allowed them to cooperate with the creatures and use their abilities to benefit both sides. Those people were named Tamers. Human ingenuity and the mystlings' talent to harness elements began to bear fruit. Villages and cities soon sprouted and flourished, and new, clever machines and installations began to crop up to ease the hardships of life. Now, hundreds of years later, an unpopular group of scholars, astronomers, portend other twin eclipse. According to their calculations, both moons will line up with the sun, which will lead to another epochal catastrophe. But most people don't look up at the sky when the ground is still full of wonders and mysteries. They ignore the worrying predictions and carry on with their daily routines. Are the astronomers right? Surely not. Life is peaceful, and it should remain just like that.
Because Earth is flat.
Yeah, of course. And the moon isn't real. In Dragon Eclipse, you will take on the role of a tamer, befriending and training mystlings. Dragon Eclipse is a cooperative scenario-based game for 1 to 2 players. Dragon Eclipse is played over a series of scenarios. Each scenario is a 2 to 2.5 one-time playthrough hour. 2 to 2.5 hour one-time playthrough, and is divided into 2 interconnected parts: adventure and combat. During the adventure part of the game, you explore the world, visit different locations, make impactful decisions, and progress the story. During the combat part of the game, you encounter other mystlings, fight against them, and try to tame them. The scenario continues until the adventure journal informs you that it ends. While there is no way of losing a scenario, your decisions, as well as failures and wins, influence the story and the outcome of the campaign. So then here it says the rulebook is written for solo play. 2-player rule exceptions are marked with a 2 and like a little person icon. If you are playing solo, you can skip these sections. We're going to go on to game 1.
Yep. So reading through the basis of this, we'll keep this view with you guys. As soon as they tell us to put cards on the table, we'll zoom in for the cards.
Yep.
So game order. Each game session is divided into 3 stages. You have before the scenario, playing the scenario, after the scenario. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Since you don't need to learn before the scenario and after the scenario, this booklet will focus on playing the scenario.
All right.
I felt like what Seinfeld is that? I don't know. There's definitely a scene in Seinfeld.
I have no idea.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the rental car scene. Like you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. For some reason in my mind reading that, that's what I picture. So playing the scenario. The main stage of the game, in which you explore location maps, make various story choices, and fight and tame mystlings, is divided into 2 interconnected parts, adventure and combat. The adventure journal guides you through whole scenarios and tells you when adventure or combat starts. The scenario ends when you reach the sentence, "Congratulations, you've reached the end of the scenario." The adventure immerses you in the adventure journal, uncovering the narrative in thrilling adventures. You'll be making choices presented by the adventure journal and exploring location maps. So this is our adventure journal. It's a big old thing. It has a bunch of sections in it. A to like...
Steve already bent the corner.
Did I? Nope. It's flat. So it has a bunch of stuff in it. So this book contains the story as well as the instructions that guide you through the game. So it says each scenario contains scripts identified by unique numbers and letters. For example, the first scenario starts with the letter A, and then it has the numbers, which you read based on how it tells you to progress.
Yep.
A little bit similar to how we just did Iceling Guard, where it'll tell you, oh, you read section 1, make the decision, and then go here or here based on your decision.
Yeah, this is definitely designed a lot like Awakened Realms game Tainted Grail, with like the different sections you would go to. It seems like it's going to be more of a lighter version of something like that, like exploring with cards, and it tells you story-wise. So it said you couldn't fail, which is definitely different, so much more forgiving. So you get this it's probably more casual for people to kind of enjoy the story and just kind of have fun. There is a PvP mode though, which we're not going over right now, that does get more of that kind of intensity where if you really want to kick someone's ass.
Nice. So specifically for 2-player games, we have this little decision token. So we make choices mutually. However, if you cannot agree, use the token. Whoever has the token gets to make that decision. All secret, silver, essence, statuses, items, and equipment belong to all players. Decision token rules. So at the beginning of the game session, give it to a random person, and then after that person uses it to make a decision, pass it off.
Yep.
Status sheets. You still have them?
Yep, I get them. It's okay, I got them over here.
So status sheets is how you track your progress throughout the game. Each part of a specific status may only be gained once during the game. When the status is marked, you are considered to have that status. So for example, it says, gain the empathy part 2 status. Under empathy, you would find it, you would mark off that number. So for example here, right at the top, Academy Secret, if it says gain part 4, you don't gain 1, 2, 3, and 4, you just gain 4.
Yep. So again, if you played Awaken, or if you played Tainted Grail, the same exact thing.
Yep. The game also tracks your decisions by placing tokens in front of you or on location maps. You cannot spend or discard these tokens. The game checks to see if you have specific tokens in front of you. Those are right here. So we have a little A and B token. So those can be placed in front of you based on different decisions you make, or be placed on the map. So it says an example here. So if you have an example, part 6 status, or if you don't have that status, you check and go based on each route based on if you have the status or you don't. Another example says, If you have this specific token in front of you, then follow the instructions based on that path versus if you don't have the token in front of you.
Gotcha. So there's a bunch of tokens then, not just the A's and B's then. I assume.
Oh, no, A's and B's.
Oh, just all A's and B's?
Yeah.
Oh,
all
okay.
A's and B's.
Cool.
I think most of that thing will be status
Yeah.
based. Rewards and penalties. During the adventure, you'll receive different rewards, like items, silver, and other things. You'll also receive penalties, like damage or fatigue. Below here is a short list of a few things that you could gain. The full list is at the end of this booklet on page 16, which here on the back, it gives you a nice little view of a bunch of different things you can gain and how it impacts you positively and negatively. So I'll read here and go to test. Okay. So, for example, silver. Silver is the currency in Dragon Eclipse. There you go. You may spend it to unlock certain story options, as well as purchase equipment or items. There is a limited component. It is a limited component. You can have 10 max.
Okay.
It is shared between both of us. When you gain it, place it next to your mistlings.
9 max now.
When you discard silver, return it to the pool of silver. If you don't have the required number of silver, discard as much as you can and ignore the rest.
You think someone like threw it away?
If you have to
had to specify, you just put it back with the supply.
Yeah, just chucked it.
Spend it. Gotta eat it now.
When you spend silver, you must have that number available. Mm-hmm. So if it says you need 3 silver, you only have 2, you cannot do it. But if it says you need to discard 2 and you have, or if you discard 3 and you only have 2, you just discard the 2 and you're done. Equipment are powerful cards that offer unique one-time uses that can help you throughout the game. On this equipment, in the upper corner, right here, as you can see, this one's a torch, there's going to be a symbol. Those are positive passive effects that you check in your adventure journal. They have the name of what it is called. Directly below the name is the timing of when you can use it. Some you can use during test scenarios, some during combat, some anytime.
Yep, so this one just says during combat.
Directly below that, you have the effect. Describes what happens when you use it. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, it has roguelike mode. This mark is only important in roguelike mode, but not during the campaign.
Cool.
Both equipment and items have a little broken card effect. I don't know why I went like Pac-Man. Broken card effect, which indicates discard after use.
Do not tear up.
Yeah, don't actually rip it in half, but if you want, then you can just go buy more from them. Symbols.
You rip these cards.
I wouldn't rip it.
I know.
It's just the rule book.
I leave the cards not because I want to keep the cards fine, but so Steve couldn't rip them.
Symbols that are available in the upper right-hand corner. So this is a light source, often used in scenarios to explore dark places. There is a little turkey leg, which is food, common used when handling wild mistlings. There is a rope, which is gear, representing climbing, which can be used to traverse dangerous terrain.
Cool.
And then there's 2 little gears, which are tools, and a wide range of different tools that can be handy while tinkering with machines.
Cool.
You can spend tools, or anything with the tool symbol right here, and immediately resolve a chosen test outcome. It also says gear here, once per test, you may add or subtract 1. So that might be to some requirement in the test. We'll show you that. Some of the equipment rules, you are limited to 2 of the same equipment. So 2 bottle of flames, etc.
Oh, this is probably an example. That's probably what it says on the actual card. It probably says, like, once per this type of test, you can add or subtract 1.
That makes sense. I wish it would have said the word example.
That's probably what this color means. Anyway.
Equipment cards are limited to 2 of the same name. When you gain equipment, you already have 2. You may use any of the 3 equipment abilities if the timing allows. So if this said any time, I can instantly use it now and then hold the 2.
Cool.
It's shared between players in a 2-player game. You do not assign equipment to mistlings. If you are considered to have equipment symbol, you are considered to have equipment symbols as long as you have the equipment.
Okay.
So as long as you don't use this, because this is a trash card, discard card, as long as you have this, you have that symbol.
Cool.
When you gain equipment, draw a random card from the equipment deck. And when you discard or spend equipment, place it on the bottom of the deck.
Cool.
Next up, we have items. Items offer a variety of minor effects. They are similar to equipment in terms of usage, but are more common and have less powerful effects. They are used in two different ways: as tools to aid you in tests and combat, as well as to resolve tests. So item cards, top corner, you have your test value.
Wow.
That is the number used when resolving tests.
Okay.
Directly below that, you could have a misfortune. There's nothing on this one specifically, but you could have a misfortune, a negative symbol that is used during tests.
Okay.
Towards the bottom, you have the name. You additionally, directly under that same thing, have the timing. Test, combat, or anytime. You have the effect, and then you'll have if it's roguelike or not for that game mode. You are limited to 3 items.
Of the same type?
Of the same type.
Cool.
Same thing. If you gain a 4th, you can use one instantly as long as the ability allows you to do so.
Right.
You do not assign it to mistlings. When you gain it, draw a random one from the deck. Discard items go into a discard pile, not to the bottom of the deck, like the others do.
Okay. Cool. Keep that out. Tests. So a test is a quick push your luck part of the game that uses test values of item cards from the item deck, not the cards you gained. Tests are used to determine the results of some of the character's actions. Every test has a test table. And there's an example on the next page. You may read the content of the test table before and during the test resolution.
That's good.
During the adventure, you will often find instructions to perform the test. The test outcomes may be different, but most often they progress the story or give you a reward. When something goes wrong during a test, it may result in penalties. You use the item deck during tests. The only important information on the item cards during a test is their test value, shown in the top left-hand corner, and an eyeball icon, which is that misfortune icon, that can be found on several of the cards, and that would be right below the one. Yep, much like this. This is that misfortune icon. Okay. So here, for this item has a test value of 2, and it has 1 misfortune. To perform a test, look at the provided test table. So here, an example of the test table is this right here. It tells you which of the results you might want to achieve. As a rule of thumb, you may assume that green outcomes are good ones, grays are neutral, and red is bad. Above the test table are also modifiers that may affect the test. So up here, at the end of the test, if you have at least 2 of those misfortunes, whatever the time thing means. Most of the time, there will be negative consequences for drawing misfortunes. During the test, you may use your items with test timing to modify your result. So the test order. First, reveal an item card and place it in front of you. Next, choose. So end the test or go back to step 1. Okay. So when the value of all revealed cards reaches the last range in the test table, and you don't have any means to modify the result, immediately end the test and resolve its outcomes as described below. Okay. So if I were less 8 or more, interesting.
So that's this value.
Yep. So when you end a test, add up the values on all items revealed during the test. Okay. Apply all of the at the end of test modifiers.
Which would be that if you had it.
And place all item cards used in this test on top of the discard pile and resolve the outcomes matching the value of the drawn cards. Whenever the item deck becomes empty, take all cards in the item discard pile, shuffle them, and create a new deck. So here it goes over an example that we'll do with you. Again, so here is the test table. So here you have 1 item that might be useful. Glazed nuts. You are able to use its effect during a test, but only its effect, not its value. And again, the item cards you're using are not the ones that you have gained. It's from the just generic item deck. So start the test. You reveal the first card, which ends up being rope, and it has a value of 2. Number 2, you decide to reveal again, and the new item, ripe nuts, has a value of 3. Okay. Next, you decide to reveal another card, but It's a bottle of magic with a value of 3 and a misfortune. Now the total value is 8, 2, 3, 3, which would result in a negative outcome.
So you have the red line here.
Yep. It is not something you wanted. You decide to use the effect of the glazed nuts.
Glaze these nuts.
Discard a card you just revealed. So let's you discard that. It says here, during a test, discard the card you just drew. It's great.
Who's Drew?
His name is Anne. So you decide to reveal again. The new item, a leather pouch, has a value of 1 and a misfortune. So this one doesn't show misfortune, but is there one that does? Yep. So it has a value of 1 and a misfortune. The total value of cards is 6. Not the best outcome, but you decide not to push your luck and you end the test.
So you can see here's in the table. So 5 or less and 6, you gain this secret. So this one you have this little symbol, which I'll tell you probably what it means in a second, and then you gain the secret card. This you just gain the secret card. 7, which is the highest green, you gain an item and get the secret card. 8 or more, you're screwed.
Yep. So the person here is trying to go for 7, clearly, if they can.
Yes. But they got to 6, and they're like, all right, cool.
Exactly. So that's what we're deciding to reveal again. So you remember to check the modifier at the end of the test. It would apply if you had at least 2 of the misfortunes. They are called misfortunes, right? I heard you right when you said that? Okay. You fortunately have only 1 misfortune, so you don't. That's a time. You don't get that right symbol. So the time track and the time tokens are explained further in the booklet.
Every time.
So you place all item cards used in this test on top of the discard pile and resolve the outcome, matching result, which is 6. So you gain secret card 2 and go to script A79, just like we showed there. So you had 6. So you have your little story moment here. You find a glass bottle with a bright substance. It must belong to Olin. And then you gain secret card 2, which is probably that glass bottle. And then you go to A79.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're not going to actually go through that secret card of that section right now.
Correct.
Because we don't want to know what happens.
Exploring the location map. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. When playing a scenario, you will be presented with an opportunity to explore different location maps. Each map exploration starts with a short setup and the following instructions. Open map X. So it says take the location map book and open it so that map X is visible. Then place the location map book in your play area.
So our play area, because we're playing together, it's just be the center of the table.
Correct. And map X refers to, I believe, the number that is up here.
Which bothers me so much, because that's not 10, it's 0, 1. That they wrote it this way and not this way. Because I open this book, I look, that's a 10. But it's actually 0, 1.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because that's 21,
so
23.
They're going top down.
They're acting as if you open it this way and not like an American opening this way. But okay. I digress.
Hilarious. I just put the number sideways.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, not nitpicking at all. Location maps show you the area you are currently exploring. Each location map consists of number 1, location map number the wrong way. Used during exploration setup to find the correct map. Number 2, script numbers possible places for you to visit. Number 3, slots. Used to place A/B tokens.
There's a white hole.
Used to place A/B tokens in them and track your decisions / changes during the scenario.
Which makes sense. You put an A or B there, and it's like if you have an A, do this. If you have a B, do that.
That's fun. Number 4, the time track. Used to track the passage of time. Number 5, the event slot. Space for the event secret card connected to the time track.
Yep, so if we act like this was a secret card, it would just go right there.
Nice. So, place secret X face down in the event slot. That's what Steve just showed you. Set the time, either green or red, so it should be a time token.
Yep.
Perfect. To Y. So it would tell you where to put it. So in the example, correct, has that, and your secret card would be here, like you just showed beforehand.
We'll just keep this here for
Yep.
purposes.
So there are cards that actually say secret.
Oh, actually, yeah, we won't read it.
There you go. Yep. So secret card. Oh, this one's right. 01.
Yeah, I know.
Right there. So find the mentioned secret and place it, secret in the secret deck, place it face down without looking at it, obviously, in the event slot. Then take the time token. It's a double-sided token, just like the icon, and place it showing the correct side, red or blue, in the, like I said, it's blue. In the slot.
Green?
Here it looked more green, like on that little piece.
That's frost.
Yeah. In a slot with the number that's referenced. So the example has sent that right there.
Yep.
Then the adventure journal will tell you to begin the exploration. To do so, close the adventure journal and follow all exploration rules. So again, adventure journal is this, not this. Don't set this up and then close it.
Yeah.
All right. Exploration rules. There is no specific round or turn structure during exploration. You are free to take actions unless the adventure journal instructs you otherwise. During exploration, there is only one type of action available. Read a script.
One of these.
Reading a script. Scripts are indicated by a letter and a number. You may go to and read any script visible on the map. Usually, but not always, scripts are inside booklet icons. So this looks like a little book.
Yep. Cool.
Others might be hidden in the illustration. Oh, that's fun. Kind of like Seven Continent.
Good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, Continent's the first one. Citadel's the one that we played.
Yeah.
Yep. Reading scripts is free. Oh, sorry. Once you start reading a script, I skipped the paragraph. Once you start reading,
Steve.
Yeah, see. Once you start reading a script, you must follow all instructions written there. When the script instructs you to continue the exploration, close the adventure journal and return to the location map. Reading scripts is free, meaning it does not consume any time or other resources. And the adventure journal often gives you the option to leave a script and choose a different one. So the example they have on the bottom down here says choose one. It gives you two options: search rubble or leave. If you choose the search rubble option, you gain an item, but you also spend time. After that, you're instructed to continue the exploration. So doing something will probably use time to do that thing, so you have to choose wisely.
Yeah.
What is nice is you can go to the script and like read the script, and if it gives you the leave option, you can choose to leave to look at something else potentially, and it doesn't cost you time, which kind of that was a nice thing, because they could have been jerks about that. Okay, finish it up, and then you want to do
Cool. We get down, man.
So time. During exploration, you may be instructed to spend time. Boop. This will in turn reveal, or do you mean in time? Reveal the event card, altering the situation on the map, or even bringing the exploration to an end. When you're instructed to use time, if the time token is not in the last space, move it one slot down, i.e. from 2 to 1. Yep. If the time token is already in the last space, so with the number 1, place it on the event card. Okay. If the time token is on the event card, ignore the time progression. So here the event card is a secret card. That's what they were instructing here. Ignore the time progression. Okay. Whenever an adventure journal instructs you to continue the exploration, the time token is already on the event card. Discard the time token and flip and resolve the event card. The instructions in the script may often instruct you to discard the secret you just drew. Whenever secrets are discarded, they're always placed back in the secrets deck. And then it gives an example of being down onto there. So you're instructed the time token, the adventure journal. You move the time token from space 1 to the secret card, which is the event card, and continue reading the adventure journal until it tells you to continue exploration. Then you discard the timer and flip the secret card and follow the instructions written there. So I just want to make sure I understand that correctly. If it's on here, it tells you to use more time.
Then it flips. So it's like, this is like one turn, this is the final turn, and then...
Oh, no, actually, it's when it specifically says continue the exploration. If it's on there, that's when it flips.
Oh, only if it says continue.
Yeah, so whenever the adventure journal instructs you to, and it's very clear, in quotes, continue the exploration, and if the time token's already on the event card,
Okay, that's simple
discard the time token, flip it. I assume that continue also has a time marker with it.
Yeah.
But So only when you see those words.
But it says here, though, if it's just the time token and it's on the card, ignore. Yeah, just
right. So if you were to choose a different option, like over here, search the rubble, and the time token's on the card, you just ignore the time token portion altogether. Okay? The story provides hints about what might occur when the event card is triggered. The side of the time token also serves as a hint about whether or not you should hurry. Red, the current event ends the exploration. Green, the current event changes something. The story might hint at what might happen, but does not end the exploration. Okay? So red pretty much means if you're out of time,
you're done.
The exploration portion is done. Green, the blue means that it won't be done, but something in the world is going to change about the location you're in. Lock/unlock script. Some of the decisions may unlock new options or lock the available ones. Lock script X. Take a universal token, which is the donut looking one, right?
Yep.
And place it on the mentioned script so that the token covers the script. You cannot read locked script, so we could not do that script. Unlock scripts X. Discard it from the script. It becomes available again. End of exploration. The exploration ends when you encounter the end of the exploration instruction. Well, it tells you end the exploration. When you end the exploration, follow the steps below. Discard all secrets from the location map. Place them back into the secret deck. Okay. Discard the event. Place it back into the secret deck. Discard all tokens from the map. Do not discard tokens and secrets placed in front of you.
So if you earned it already, you keep it. But if you haven't, gone. Yeah.
Or it might tell you to place it in front of you, I guess. So, and then close the location map book. When the exploration ends, the adventure journal instructs you what to do next.
All right. So we'll cut that into a chapter. So all of that was kind of the rules of how everything works. Now we are going to start the first
adventure portion, at least.
The adventure portion, yes. Yeah. Combat will come next, but that's all how the adventuring works and everything. Mm-hmm. So, now that you're familiar with the adventure rules, you can start playing the first scenario.
Yay!
Here's an introduction. You are a child of the Monger caretakers, a talented pair of tamers. They left early to serve the queen in the south, leaving you in care of your aunt, Christine. Your talent for understanding mystlings manifested itself in your early years, and Christine decided that your best chance in life was to travel to Careburg, the largest city in the province, to learn the craft.
Let's go. Professor Oak.
Yeah. Since then, you have grown to become one of the most talented tamers. Some say you are unique because you are the only one able to maintain bonds with two mystlings at once. Monogamy is not realistic. Your talent was...
I don't realize that bonds in wisdom is. To maintain bonds.
Oh. What? I was like, what? Your talent was noticed by the Duchess of Careburg, and despite your young age, she nominated you to be chief tamer when the previous one retired. You are in charge of most Careburg mystlings and train other tamers. You cannot complain about your job or your life, but there is something missing. You yearn for the thrill of adventure and the satisfaction of discovery.
Right.
You want to encounter more mystlings, and you cannot stop marveling at those fantastic creatures.
That's right, Spider-Man.
Another secret dream you cherish is to encounter dragon guardians. You want to learn more about them. Red Eyes, Black Dragon. You wish to know if they are godlike beings, as the legends depict, or if they are just immensely powerful mystlings. Maybe someday you will be able to embark on a journey and see the wide world.
I want to find out if they're big fancy lizards or if they're just little fancy lizards.
So now, open Adventure Journal to page 2. We'll keep this off to the side.
Adventure Journal?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
The calm before the storm. Woo-hoo. Careburg. You've always loved this city, perched upon a barren hill from which you can admire a scenic vista of old forests, winding merchant roads, and low rocky hills. Your gaze finds the wind turbines connected to water pumps and forges.
I always knew he would.
There's noise grates, but they fill you with pride anyway. You are one of the few people responsible for ensuring all this works properly. Unlike a clever duchess who rules over people and laws, and engineers who supervise the steel and the brass, tamers like you train and care for mystlings that support the whole structure. Also, they're slaves. Nice. But sometimes you feel suffocated in the city.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. You often wander through the surrounding forest, but that doesn't satisfy your thirst for blood. No, for something more.
More than blood?
Sometimes you want to take your mystling and see the world, but you can't. You are the head tamer of Careburg. The people need you. You check on the Windraiser, a timid mistling possessing tremendous power who controls the airflow through windmills and turbines. It utters a pleasant sound when it sees you. Tomorrow, you will train it and several other creatures. But today, you have work to do. For some time, you show the Windraiser how to use its powers more effectively and give the mistling a little treat. Soon, the turbines spin a little faster as the wind flowing through the city accelerates. All right.
We're going to show them.
We have
the
artwork.
The artwork's great in this, so we'll make sure that we try to show you guys this whenever we can, because that is Careburg.
A1.
Back to the front.
After you ensure Windraiser's well-being, your long day is finished. Today has been somewhat stressful, as you and other Careburg tamers have been checking on all the mistlings in the city. The work is done now, however, and you can relax. You head for the Shaded Tavern, where you can enjoy the best stew in the area. That sounds pretty good. Besides today, a storyteller is performing.
Dragon stew.
Hey, whatever works. While you walk, a prowler, a cat-like mistling, whooshes by, its feathers spread and wind-blown. When you enter the tavern, you're enveloped by the wonderful smell of herbs. The storyteller, Ida, is finishing a tale of true love. I have 2 more tales for you, my dear folks.
We got voices.
I can elevate you to the sky realm of the Dungeon Guardians. Dragon Guardians.
Dungeon Guardians.
That flowed way back. The mighty beasts of old who watch over the world, or I can enshroud you in the darkness of the eclipse, the dreadful event that left our civilization in ruin.
Oh, wow. Choose
one. Would you like to hear about the Dragon Guardians, or tell us more about the eclipse?
All right, let's hear about the Dragon Guardians.
All right, we'll let you choose.
Oh, well, you
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. You're looking.
Hilarious.
Stares me down. What you gonna choose? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so you're choosing. We'll just do what you want to do.
Ida begins the story. Everyone always wants to hear about dragons. The watchful, mighty beings which soar through the skies, breathe pure element, and instill fear and awe into our hearts. They are said to be the guardians of our world, each of them attuned to only one of the elements. Some people claim they have seen them and might even be telling the truth. But who am I to say if this is so? I am here to tell you a story. The dragons, you know, are connected to the eclipse. Gain Understanding Part 5.
Okay, so we would mark this on here.
Yep.
We could do it. We'll use pencil. So that way we can undo it. Just in case we need to keep track of it right now.
Yep.
Let's say we're going to redo the first portion of this when we do our actual playthrough. So we want to make sure we can back out. So Understanding Part 5.
Yep.
Okay.
And in the rule book, the actual rule book, it does say pretty clearly. Let's grab it here. So if you open up the beginning of the rule book after the components, it does say starting your game. So you can just hop to certain areas in the rule book to actually just start scenario 1 without going to this start here guide.
Correct.
All right. A sudden tremor interrupts the story. Ida freezes with her mouth agape, visibly confused. You're also quite shocked. You've never experienced such a strong quake. Oh, never had a good bowl of chili before.
Fart joke.
Suddenly the door bursts open, and a young tamer enters the town.
Immediately passes out.
Our mistlings, he says, catching his breath. They all went mad. They lash out at the machines and all the people around.
Ooh.
The main turbine is in danger. The Windraiser has grown aggressive.
Oh, no.
The tamer is still a rookie, but he understands what he's talking about. And the problem seems serious.
the tamer is still a rookie, but he understands English.
If something happens to the creature or the machine, many of Careburg's functions would be disabled for months.
Ooh.
Oh, then we get, okay, this makes more sense now, finally. I'm like, where's this leading to? The young tamer spots you. Oh, Chief! What a blessing you're here.
Our young tamer's a leprechaun. Oh, Chief!
Come, you must help me. I try to calm Windraiser, but, well, it's a task for you. If the creature is attacking people who try to approach it, you won't be able to do anything without a mistling to aid you. Fortunately, your companions rest inside the room on the second floor. You run up the stairs to bring it. chased by the young man, baffled shouts.
Hmm.
You open the door to your room. Note. Oh no. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Well, no, it's gonna. I'll read the note in a second, but
That was like an old man reading a teleprompter. So tomorrow I'm going to pause here.
Yeah.
Oh. Amazing. That was great. No. Ooh, Pokemon.
So, you open the room to your door, and we each have one. So we have a young Emberling and a young Iceling available to us. Because we're in a 2-player game, the note says we each choose one.
So when we play the actual playthrough, just so you know, we will actually have a third option as well in this moment. Because we have the young Luminesca,
That is true.
that is added in here as that third neutral option.
We'll save
if
that
we so
for
chose.
first
The actual
playthrough,
one.
yeah.
That's what I said. When we do the
Yeah.
first playthrough, we'll do that.
All right. Who would you like for the playthrough or for
Yeah.
the tutorial?
I'm gonna be nice right now.
Tutorial. Yeah, take your
Because I'm not gonna be. No, he wants you to do that now because he's gonna want to during the actual game.
We'll roll dice for that.
Okay, I would definitely want Charmin. Emberlin.
All right. So Emberling. Also, I'll read your section. You read mine on the reverse.
Sure.
Emberling, the fire lizard.
Oh, sorry guys. You want to see what we were looking at?
Oh, yes.
So we had our little Pokemon set up here. So I chose the Emberling, and he has the Iceling.
So Emberling, the fire lizard, jumps into your arms expecting a treat. Emberling's Divider. Take cards 62, 66, 67, and all of young Emberling's action cards, which there should be 6 of them, and place them in the chosen slot in the Mistling tray, which are somewhere. Where are the trays?
I don't know which.
The actual, like... It was the thing that was with the booster packs when it came in the box.
Oh no, that was the thing.
Where did you just throw them away?
Mhm.
Nice.
Well,
Cool.
I mean, why would I think that was? It wasn't in like the
That's
big
true.
box for all the cards.
I think that's what that's indicating. I don't know.
It's probably that thing. Like literally that thing that has the 2. It has 2 slots.
No, this is showing like a little.
It's 2 different slots. Anyway, what's the rest of it?
Hold on, let me glance at the component list. No, Mistling tray is it? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's that thing.
This thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That
fine.
did not look like that.
I just put the starter cards. No, it doesn't.
Oh
So
my God.
in here, the book shows this thing as being like tall. So what it's saying, so we have boom 1 and 2 because it's for a 2-player game, which is why I put the starter cards in there.
Yes.
Anyway, so what did it say? Put the 60.
So 62, 66, 67, and the 6 action cards.
6. Okay.
So you get that slot. Take 1 starting deck of 10 cards.
Which is what we had in there to begin with. Yep.
Add it to the rest of the action cards in your tray. It should now have 1 copy of. Hold on. Let's show these for people.
Yep.
Hit and run.
Hit and run.
Leap. Offensive stance. Not offensive stance.
Offensive stance.
Offensive stance.
Ah,
Focus.
yeah. There's focus.
Desperate attack.
Desperate attack.
Primal shot.
Primal shot.
Sprint.
Sprint.
Pummel.
Pummel.
Guardian stance. And a synergy.
Boom.
All right. So all of those will go into your side there. You will then, and this is on your side, gain the young Emberling standee,
Okay. So young Emberling.
which will go
Is-
right in front of your tray.
This little guy.
All right.
Little miniatures.
So now it says. Young Emberling Divider. Add card 65, the A side up, and 64 B side up to the Mistling Encyclopedia.
That's
That's not this. Mistling Encyclopedia is here somewhere.
that's the binder.
Yes, it is.
So this you can put back in alphabetical
It
order.
said Young Emberling Divider, so I took the Young Emberling Divider.
So the reason I said that is because with the cards, so we have the box cards over here on the side, and it has dividers, and it has the Mistling Encyclopedia divider. So what it's saying is to put that young Emberling divider behind that other divider, the mistling. But for us, we have the binder. So this is going where?
65 A side up.
What else is going with it?
64 B side up.
64B, and then nothing about 63.
Place 63 behind the removed divider.
Okay, so that one
over here.
Here.
Yep. So removed goes right here.
So move this out of the way. Over here. And what was the number?
65A.
Did it give you a number? I guess it's probably 65.
This is saying the Mysling Encyclopedia.
Yeah. So it's probably at 65. It's gonna be 65.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And 64 B side up.
64 B side up. 65A. Because we have the young Emberling.
Why? What? Why are you doing? There's 64 right there.
I said behind it. No, this is.
No, I didn't say behind it.
Didn't it? Oh.
No, A side up, and then also 64 B side up.
Oh, my bad. There we go.
In a 2-player game, leave the young Iceling, which is mine, card in the tier deck instead. Because normally it says place the young Iceling behind the random combats divider, but it says leave it here. If both players now have their mistlings, go on, which we don't.
So it said to leave the card where?
To keep it. So in a 1-player game, you would put it behind a specific divider.
Well, no, what to say we're random because those are the small cards, I believe.
No, so it says place young Iceling behind the random combats divider. But in a 2-player game, leave it in the tier deck, which is this deck, right?
Yeah, so the tier deck right now, if you want to just move the random combat divider to the back of the tier deck. There we go.
All of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So the tier deck is a bunch of small cards that are images of the individual dragons. And so there's a random combats divider where it'll probably tell you to put specific dragons behind them for that randomized combat. So in a 1-player game, the one you don't choose, which in this situation would be the Iceling, would probably be part of that random combat. But okay.
All right. So now you read that, and then it comes back to me.
Sounds good. So here's this. Oh, sorry. There's some flavor text here I'll read you for the young Emberling. Emberlings always lay 2 eggs. When the first egg hatches, the mother leaves the nest, and from then on, it's up to the older, yet still young, Emberling to take care of its sibling. Fiery and energetic, from the moment it takes its first breath, it tends to the egg with surprising gentleness. So this is essentially our Pokedex.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, young Iceling Divider, take cards 118, 122, and 123.
118, 122, 123.
And all young Iceling action cards, should be 6 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Then place them in the chosen slot in the mistling tray.
Boom.
You do not have to read them now. Unlocked cards divider. Take 1 starting deck of 10 cards and add it to the rest of the action cards in your mistling tray.
Yep.
And then should have the same ones. Hit and run, leap, offensive stance, focus, desperate attack, primal shot, sprint, pommel guardian, stance, and synergy. So deck building game. Everyone has basic cards to start.
Yep.
Assemble the young Iceling standee. We don't have standees because we have the miniatures. Place it next to the missing tray. So let's find yours. Turn this so I can see. I believe this is your guy, right?
Yep. Yep. Nice.
All right. Cool. All right. So then the young Iceling Divider. So add card 121 A side up and 120 B side up to the Mistling Encyclopedia. Perfect.
Flavor text here. Young Icelings are rarely found outside. The seclusion of the snowy mountaintops where they hone their ice control abilities. However, the few of them who yearn for adventure are among the bravest and most outgoing creatures in the known world. Solid.
Then here it says place card 119, which is the enemy ability card, behind the removed divider.
Yep.
So those are being removed because they obviously will not be our enemy. Then, of course, you play your game, leave the young Emberling tier card in the tier deck instead. Both players have their mistlings. Go to script A20. All right. I said otherwise go to script A6, but we're going to A20 because we both have our mistlings.
Yes. All right, I'll give it back to you all.
Ooh. Sorry, I was going to turn it too.
There you go. So A20. All right. You gonna need that back. You and your companion follow the Trebling Tamer out of the bar. He leads you towards the same Windraiser you tended to not even an hour ago. You can immediately tell the creature is terrified enough to treat everyone as a threat, and it attacks approaching humans, even moving machine parts. To calm the Windraiser down, you must get close to it to wear it down. You order the Elemental Lizard to carefully step forward with a tactic in mind. If only the situation were a little different, you would rejoice, as you don't often have the opportunity to test your skills in combat. But today, you must fight your friend.
All right.
Note, you will begin your first combat in a moment. To ease your way into the rules, it is in the form of a tutorial. After the tutorial, you'll be able to fight again without a detailed instruction. Open the Start Here booklet, follow the instructions there. You can also set up combat using the instructions below. So we won't do that.
Correct. We have first combat.
Do that.
Right
then
here.
it says close the adventure journal and starts the combat.
All right.
So this is come off
First
the side.
combat. So the first combat guide will help you set up the encounter and walk you through a solo combat step by step. Most of the rules are described in this booklet, although you may find some further explanation on the cards. So for 2 players, it says follow the guide together, choosing one of you as the participant in the upcoming combat. Solo play is similar to a cooperative one, and it will be easier to learn the game this way. At the end of this booklet, you will find the cooperative rules and how they differ from the solo one. Yep. So this one's going to be a solo fight, but we'll go through it together. So since I'm reading, do you want to fight?
Sure.
All right. Let's do. So combat setup. Usually combat is set up in the adventure journal. It tells you which components to use. However, this tutorial will guide you step by step. So prepare the arena. So take the arena book, open arena 2. Is that arena 2? 2. All right. Do you want to flip it?
Oh, we're going to run
your
it
way?
this way. Yeah.
And then towards you? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Leave some space for cards
Easier to do it your way.
above
this
and...
is upside down still.
Oh.
I can do it this way. I'll just...
You good that way?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I can read it upside down.
Cool.
We're good. 1 second. Oh, first, let's go here. Oh, do we have room for cards yet? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. I'll keep the book up for you. Okay. Place the damage tokens, which are the big red power markers, elemental tokens, and condition tokens next to the arena. So you just have it in the tray. Thankfully, Awakened Realms thought ahead and gave you a handy tray that comes out of the bottom of the box easy enough.
Yeah, super nice. Everything's laid out.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the little expansion of the actual elements as like cool little things.
Little acrylics. Okay. Place arena card 35 in the designated space on the right hand. So I'll show you here. On the right hand side of the arena with its non-PvP side up. So that's going to be right over here. So that's a big card. So big card says arena cards. And we're looking for 35.
28, 33, 34, 35. The cobbled square.
So arena cards contain additional combat rules, if any, and they reference combat outcomes, which direct you back to the adventure journal.
Yep.
This arena card doesn't contain any additional rules, and that is the non-PvP side, correct?
Yep, that's PvP.
Alrighty. Prepare the enemy frightened Windraiser. So you're going to place the Windraiser standee in space 1 of the arena. What does Windraiser look like? I'll find the Winditch. Yeah, Windy. I believe it's this thing. Yes. So there's Windy.
Put it off to the side here for
So
a
place
moment.
the Windraiser standee in space 1 in the arena. So space 1.
The Roman one.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. All right.
So that's to clarify for everyone. There on the map, there's a 1 and a 2 in Roman numerals, but there's also card slots 1 through 5 and
yes.
bigger card slots 1 through 4. So this is on the actual map itself in the middle.
Space dash. Take out cards 169 and 170 from behind the Windraiser divider. Notice that they are double-sided. Flip card 170 to the B side. card 169 should be A side up.
Yep.
Okay? And follow the setup instructions. So,
On the cards?
no, I guess it's probably just says take them out, and then it has it has a colon, so it's continuing on.
Oh.
So setup instructions are as follows: place the special ability token, which is one of the donuts, in space 3 at the top of the arena. Okay. I think these are dual colored, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Enemy
probably
black, us white.
or that's probably like the locked, and that's why.
No, because it said unlock, just get rid of the token.
Yeah, I don't know. It probably doesn't ultimately matter.
Mm.
It may just be black just because the back of the thing instead of it being white and weird. Okay. Anyway, so that's on number 3. So prepare the enemy cards. Use the ones without the 2 icon on them right now. So 2 with the triangle symbol. So they may have those may be over here. Enemy cards.
There's enemy
attacks.
cards. But he has a whole deck here.
Yeah, prepare the enemy attack cards.
Oh, enemy attack cards. Okay.
Yeah. Did I not say attack?
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, so it should be using only the ones without the 2 player on them. And then you need 2
So without,
with the triangle
okay,
symbol.
So 2 triangle.
You
Oh,
need-
got it. I gotta make sense. There's a bunch of 2 here. Hold on. There we go.
It shows on. Oh, no,
Yeah, it does. No, it does. There's here's like the 2 little players. There it is.
Oh,
Okay. So we have 1 circle.
And then one with like the circle thingy,
One
and then
square.
one with the square.
Yes.
Yep. Is that what it says on the special
Yes.
ability thing too?
Enemy deck.
Oh, perfect. It tells you on there. Amazing. So in standard combat, you would shuffle them together. But for the purpose of this guide, arrange them face up in order, where square is on top, then the circle, and finally the 2 triangles at the bottom. Place the enemy deck face up so you see the symbols in the unnumbered small slot at the top of the arena. Unnumbered. And
Oh,
7. Yes. No, it's stacked.
Okay.
So square on top. Yep, perfect. And like you can even like they have it so you can do. Cool. Okay. Resolve the additional setup rule and place 1 tornado in each of those spaces like it shows. And all of the setup information is on the enemy card.
Yes.
So you can see here, all of this is on the card that we're doing. Yep, sorry. All this is on the card that we're doing.
Yep.
Cool to go. So some mistlings use elemental tokens as their special pieces in the arena. And in this case, the tornado, or that symbol represents tornadoes. The black side of the element tokens are used by enemies, and the white ones by players. Good to know, so that way you can keep it separated. Okay, so turn card 170 back to the A side. So setup's on one side. And
Well, this
the other
just
side
tells you the
abilities.
3 symbols now and
Yeah.
what they do in the attack.
Nice. Cool. And place both the enemy stat and enemy ability cards, so both those cards, on the left-hand side of the top arena. Perfecto. You got it. Nailed it. Okay. Prepare your mistling, either the young Iceling or the young Emberling. So young Iceling here.
Okay.
Alrighty. Place your mistling standee, either young Emberling or Iceling, blah, 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 in starting space II in the arena. Take out all of its cards from the mistling tray, except for the story quest card, 67 or 123.
Except for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And leave it in the tray. You won't need it now. Place card 62 A side up for the young Emberling, or 118 A side up for the young Iceling, on the left side next to the arena. Yep. Boom. Okay.
Gotta go low.
Yeah, I know. Place the ability card 66 A side, so 122 A side up for the young Iceling, next to the mistling card so that they can. Cool. Is that?
Yeah, show it down there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was looking down here like for it. But...
Oh, it's right there. So it's literally over here.
Oh yeah, so just off
So
the
like
side.
this is a different card. Okay.
Yep.
Is that in view? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Let's put them right.
Yeah, you put it up next to it.
There we go.
Perfect. Good deal. Okay. Take the help card matching your mistling's element. So Iceling, young Iceling, and set it aside with the bonus action side up. So it's not any of those. There's like actual help cards in the thing.
Is it a large card or small card?
It was a big card. So it's going to be in one of the sections that is uncategorized. I believe. Probably towards the...
These are mystery cards, not that one. These are, here we go.
So you want the ice one. You can probably give me a fire one to put with my guy. Probably keep him in the tray. Right?
There's fire. Is it ice? No, I don't have ice. I have water.
No, it's ice. There's ice in there. Has one for each element.
There is not an ice one. Water, light, earth.
Oh, it's
dark.
water.
Mm.
And then there
Oh,
should
we each
be
have a whole deck.
So then there should be a generic.
So we each have a whole deck of all of them for each of us.
Oh, okay.
So it just stays in there then.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And then.
Yeah. So this is
And then it gives you. This is one of the bonus. One of those cards. Yep. Perfect. And it has you just placing those above your character just so you have them to reference.
Makes sense. Yeah. So what? We'll just go. So combat tags. Just go through a bunch of the wording on it.
Yeah.
Water element. It shows specifically in the 2-player game. Each bonus action can be used. That shows a water element. I'm assuming I'm going to have one of these out here with the water symbol. And then it shows what happens with a bunch of info.
Cool. So then this, so you need the one that's for 1 player then.
Which is the other stack. Does it change anything? Let's see.
I may not have known that there were 1s and 2s.
Move, prepare, discard, same thing. That's the same.
This one, the back of this one's different. Top portion.
All right, so we got that one.
Yeah. I probably didn't separate them for 1 and 2, so I probably didn't know that they had the difference on the top.
Combat tag is the same. All right.
Yeah.
No, you did. They are separated 1 and 2.
Oh, I must have did it by accident by then.
They're probably just that way to begin with, yeah.
Okay. So the remaining cards are your mistling action deck. Usually you would shuffle them together, but for the purpose of this guide, don't shuffle them. And then set up the deck face down in the following order. Cards separated with the dash belong to Emberling/Iceling. Place only 1 copy of those cards. Okay. So on top is Sprint, followed by Guardian Stance, followed by Pummel, then Synergy, Focus, Primal Shot, Offensive Stance, Sap Warmth, Frostbite, and the rest of the cards in any order at the bottom. So then place your action deck at the bottom left slot of the arena. Boom,
Okay,
there we go.
Okay.
So then draw action cards 1 by 1 and place them in the numbered slots to the right of the deck, starting from slot 4. Yep. Whenever you are drawing cards, always place them from right to left. These are your action cards available for the first turn.
Why wouldn't they just put 4 here and go down to 1?
Because they
They're dumb. Okay.
well because they no. So you're thinking how to place the cards out is they're thinking how you're choosing your actions. So you start left. This is the first actions to be available to you, and slowly these become available to you based on the 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
So if you did what they did by putting 4 here going this way, then they'd be saying, okay, now start with 1, and so anyway.
They screwed this up. Did I do this right?
Yeah, you did right.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, sprints on the bottom or on top of me.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, these are your action cards available for the first turn. So the cards should be from left to right: Synergy, Pummel, Guardian Stance, Sprint.
There we go.
Perfecto.
Cool.
Some combats have modifiers, changing these starting conditions, which are usually the effect of your story choices. This particular combat also has a modifier. So take 1 power marker, which is the amber thing, and place it on your mistling card. Boop. Bang, bang. Good deal. Congratulations. You're ready to start your first combat.
Well, all right.
You ready?
I want to be the very best.
Resolving combat. Combat in Dragon Eclipse is a turn-based confrontation that takes place in the arena. During a single scenario, you may participate in multiple combats. Turns are taken alternatively, starting with the player. Combat can end with you losing, winning, or taming the enemy. Cool.
You want me to read that so you can just do it?
If you want.
Up to you.
Take turns. I'll do this and then we'll switch.
Or I'll run the enemy then. All right, that works.
So player. Yeah, you can read.
Or I'll read.
I mean, like I can literally because it goes player, enemy, player.
Yeah.
So like I'll literally read this, and then
Oh, okay.
you can read that. So we'll take turns.
Sure.
So this is not how a cooperative would normally work. Again, this scenario
We never.
for solo. Okay. So turns take alternatively. Yep, did that. So to win, you must deal damage in the number equal to or more than the opponent's health.
It's 11.
Amazing. Look at the enemy card. Frightened Windraiser has 11. You lose the combat if your Mistling loses all of its health. Some enemies can be tamed, which leads to them joining you in your adventures. But you will learn about this later in the scenario.
I have more health than you. Solid.
The Frightened Windraiser cannot be tamed. I probably hit harder. It's probably that
Yeah.
whole situation.
We hit equally. I just have more health. 0-0 is 14
I
points.
probably have better attacks than them.
No.
Because we have the same.
Yeah, you can have that card.
Oh, we literally have the same deck.
Oh no, you have the 6 cards are different.
Yeah, no, I mean like
To
the
your fire
majority.
cards.
The majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some enemies can be tamed. These joining you. You'll learn about this later in the scenario. So the Frightened Windraiser cannot be tamed. This is purely kill the thing. All right, player's first turn. So this is not going to allow you to make any choices. Like it's going to literally walk us through the choices right now. So you resolve your turn in the following order. 1, use bonus actions, which is optional. 2, resolve an action card, which is mandatory. 3, you can use bonus actions again, which is an optional thing. Hence bonus. 4, draw cards, mandatory. 5, end your turn and proceed to the enemy turn. Mandatory. Must end your turn.
Unless you kill the enemy.
Right. During your turn, you must resolve an action card from in any slot. Wow.
From in any slot.
You must resolve an action card from. I keep getting rid of from A and just going right to action card. You must resolve an action from a card in any chosen slot. In addition, you may use gather power, which are what those tokens are, to perform the bonus actions listed on your help card and your Mistling ability card. You may use each bonus action once per turn before or after resolving an action card.
So my bonus actions for young Iceling here, I can spend one of these to move, and then I can also separately spend one of them to discard one card and draw a new card. Elemental bonus action, I assume that means if I get the element, I can spend 4 for flow, move the opponent by its movement distance, this shoes here, so 2, and heal 1. So it's kind of like run away and regather some health and come back.
Oh, so then the plus up here isn't a cost. That must be like if you do this action,
much you
get 2 stones.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because that you can do both, right? That just said there. You
So
may
start-
use gather powers.
Yeah, so starting off, you're choosing a bonus action to use. So you may use each bonus action once per turn before or after resolving an action.
Yeah, one bonus action.
Yep.
But gaining it is gathering. So that says the second sentence there in that big old box.
Yeah. In addition, you may use gather power to perform the bonus
Okay,
action.
I thought it meant to gain. Okay.
To use gathered power.
Gathered, not gathering.
Yeah.
Okay.
So each slot has a corresponding number of power visible above the card that you gain before resolving the card.
There we go.
Literally every time. The next sentence. Amazing. The farther the card is on the track, the more power you gain. It gives you an opportunity to play cards more strategically. Let's start resolving your turn first. Because that's the order. Yeah. All right. So for your first action, let's get closer to the enemy. This will prepare your Mistling for the next round. Choose the 4th slot in the sprint card. So gain 3 of your power and place them on your Mistling card. Choosing cards is your main way of gaining power during combat. 2. Resolve the sprint card. Always resolve cards from the top to bottom, left to right. That's how you read. This card allows you to move. Your Mistling may move up to the number of spaces determined by its sprint value. In this case, your Mistling may move up to 2 spaces. Move your Mistling by 2 spaces so that it ends above the Frightened Windraiser, as in the image below, which is directly above it.
1, 2.
And so the sprint action here says literally move, and it says the number of spaces you may move is determined by your Mistling sprint value. This you can choose to move fewer spaces than its value, potentially even none at all. So you can choose this just to get the power tokens and just not even do it.
Yeah.
3. Place the sprint card face up on the discard pile in the rightmost row. Cool. When planning your turns, you consider what the enemy will do during its activation. You can see its intention on the enemy ability card and the enemy attack card. Boom, boom.
Yep.
If you are not sure what the action on those cards mean, you can find their definitions on the Combat Tags Help card. This time, the enemy will attack, dealing damage to your mistling. So let's prepare for that.
Yep, so it says here, if we look at this card, it has a square. It's going to rush attack. So rush attack means rush or retreat. The enemy moves up to its movement speed, so this is 3, so that it ends the space either closest to the target if it's rushing, or farthest away from the target if it's retreating. Attack is going to deal damage equal to its attack value here, as long as it's within range 1. Reduce it by any defense the opponent may have.
Okay, cool. All right, so now you're into your bonus action. So spend 1 power and use the bonus action Prepare.
So we spend 1. So Prepare. Discard 1 card. You may then draw a new card.
Yep, so discard a card, put the Guardian Stance card on the discard pile. Draw a card, slide the Pummel and Synergy cards to the right. So Pummel to slot 4, Synergy to slot 3. So like most games, the cards will fill in, it looks like, in a situation. Draw a new card and place it in slot 2. This should be focus. It is. Discarding means getting rid of a card from the track. Do not gain any power from the slot of the card. You don't resolve the card effect.
Okay.
This is useful if you think the available cards are not helpful in your situation, or if the card has a passive ability you want to use, as in this case. Ah, interesting. So while Guardian Stance is visible on top of the discard pile, you have additional defense granted by its passive ability. It's one of many ways to prepare for the enemy turn.
Yep, right there. So it says this passive effect is applied so long as this card is on top of the discard pile. So I get +2 defense.
That's a cool mechanic. That the discard pile is actually functional.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you can use the passive ability.
Later generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! Started doing that, where they're you can, if you have this card in the graveyard and you get attacked, you can pull this card out and do something. Which got so obnoxious.
All right. So, while Guardian Stance is visible on top of the discard pile, you have an additional defense granted by the passive ability. It's one of the many ways to prepare the enemy turn. At the end of your turn, you normally slide the remaining cards on the track to the right, but you've already done that. So by using the Prepare bonus action, so there are no cards to slide. Then fill the empty slots by drawing a new card. So draw 1 card, as there's only 1 empty slot, and place it in 1. The card should be Primal Shot, which it is. Keep in mind that you resolve this step every time you finish your turn. So at the end of every turn is when you would slide the cards down and fill them in. So a lot like any kind of game that has a market. This is essentially a market of actions.
Yeah.
Okay. Enemy's turn.
Yeah, so we'll just give the quick bullet point of what happens. So pretty straightforward. Normally you'd have this deck shuffled. Because we're doing the tutorial, it lists what order to put it in. So you shuffle, you deal it out across here. You gain the power as long as you use that card. If you discard the card, you do not gain the power stones. And it goes on your little mistling card. You then can choose to do one of your bonus actions first. You don't have to. You then choose a card to do that. You then secondarily can choose another bonus action to do. Then you slide your cards over, fill them in, move on.
Correctamundo.
So pretty straightforward. I like it.
Yeah. Enemy's turn. The enemy turn consists of comparing the symbol on the attack card to the table on the enemy ability card, and then resolve the matching effects. When resolving the enemy card, follow these steps as described below. 1. Slide cards. Draw an enemy attack card. So resolve the enemy attack card. Check and resolve special ability, and then the enemy turn ends, resolve the player's turn. Okay, so there are 2 ways the Frightened Windraiser can hurt your mistling: by attacking and by dealing ranged damage. Attacking occurs only in range 1, meaning the enemy must be in the space adjacent to your mistling. Dealing it's like a picture of a star, always has a given range. So the star picture is range, essentially, and it always has a given range to deal that. Okay. So place the top enemy attack card in slot 1. Then look at the card and compare the symbol on it to the ones listed on card 170A, the enemy ability card.
Yep.
So the enemy will perform actions next to the matching symbol. You always resolve all effects connected to such symbols, from top to bottom, left to right. So rush indicates that the enemy performs a move in your mistling's direction. But since they are standing next to each other, nothing happens.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, they're chilling. Then the frightened Windraiser
Moves a little bit
attacks.
closer in its own box.
Yeah. Then the frightened Windraiser attacks. Look at its stat card, so 169A. The number next to the attack indicates how much damage your mistling gets, which is
3. But wait, there's more.
minus its defense, which in this case is 2, thanks to the Guardian Stance passive ability. Your mistling gets 1 damage.
Boom.
Marvelous.
For the discard, you said you could literally discard it. That was what this said?
It was the ability.
Oh, during prepare. That's right. Yep.
Okay. Bada bada bing. Flip the square card in slot 1 face down. Interesting.
Why?
I don't know if you can look at those later, so like trying to like remember what's come out.
Oh.
Yeah.
True.
So check if the enemy attack card is above the special ability token. There isn't one, so the enemy doesn't resolve a special ability. Congratulations, you have just finished the first round of combat. Notice that a new enemy attack card is visible, so you can predict what the Frightened Windraiser will do during its next turn.
Yeah, so the next attack card, it says attack +2. So it's going to attack with extra 2 strength, so attacking at 5. And then it has a little symbol here with a weed symbol, which means something that the book will tell us, because it's not on this card.
Yeah. We'll just keep going like this. You can keep doing that. All right. The player's second turn. Round 2. Fight! Now, you should attack. Choose the pummel card in slot 4.
Boop. So we get 3.
Gain 3
there
power from
no
this letter
limit
and
here?
place them
I guess
on
not.
the mistling card. Hasn't said anything yet. Probably due to whatever we have in there.
Yeah. Get 70 of them.
Resolve the pummel card effect, which is attack. Your mistling's attack is 4, and the Windraiser's defense is 0. Put 4 damage on the enemy card. Then discard the pummel card.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, Jen. Welcome in.
Pouring outside.
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear it.
Nice. Oh, I checked the computer because I was like, I heard that, and I wasn't sure if it was my fans kicking on the
No,
computer or not.
I can hear outside.
Yeah.
No, it's like pouring. It's amazing.
We get 2 days of
Awesome.
rain for 363 days of non-rain.
A fire. A fire.
Let's see. Hopefully this is the beginning of the rains. But
It's only supposed to last like 2-3 days, and then it's gone.
I know, but it's a couple inches. That's
Well, I
not
agree.
great.
It's good. It's needed.
But yeah, so I just picked up Clovey to show her because she was smelling it and she can hear it, but she can't see the raindrops.
Mhm.
So I picked her up to like show her the rain coming down, and she was like, "I was like, I'm not gonna throw you over the." Like she kept like I was holding her and I was leaning
And
her,
she's like, no.
and she was just like it was like she was just so
She's like,
dumb.
Mom, stop Michael Jacksoning me.
Literally, she thought I was like.
That's
picking
Donald
her up to, like,
Trumping me
toss
now.
her over. I'm like,
So-
I'm not.
When he met Newsom, they showed a picture, like Newsom standing like perfectly still. And Trump's like this. Like, and they're like, oh, that's a sign of dementia.
Is there
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
he's
that
leaning
you
forward.
when you lean forward, like you think you're standing straight,
Oh,
but like your
man.
body tilts forward. You're like, oh, it's the beginning of the end. Then it's only the
Yikes.
beginning.
Yikes.
If there is a God.
Oh, man.
Raw.
Sorry,
Ah.
All
I just wanted to look-
You're fine. You're good. Okay, so then it says,
4 damage.
so we dealt 4 damage, and then we discard the pummel card.
Boop.
Now let's move away from the enemy. It will attack with +2 modifier, so it's better to stay away. Use the bonus action dash from the element card. So you spend 1 and move 2 spaces to the right, as shown in the image below, which we're doing on the board for
No.
you. To the right. Yep.
I did to the right. Did the wrong right.
Right. End of turn. So slide the synergy focus primal shot cards to the right and fill in the empty slot with a new card from the deck. Boom, 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 boom. And that'll be offensive stance. Here we go. Enemy second turn. Slide the enemy attack card from slot 1 to slot 2. Place the top enemy card in slot 1. Look at the card and compare the kibble to the table.
Nope, that's not how that works. That way? Okay.
Here. So then compare it to the table.
Yep.
The attack +2 means that the Windraiser would attack for 5 damage total.
But it has to be within range 1.
But nothing happens since it isn't adjacent to your mistling. Exactly. So leaf dash attack. So the icon represents the Windrazor's advantage against any leaf mistlings, so grass mistlings. I assume.
Oh, double attack.
If you were playing a grass mistling, the Windrazor will perform a second attack. Okay. You can skip it because you have a water mistling.
I love that mechanic because
it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
You have advantages based on class type.
Exactly. Yeah. It's amazing.
All right.
So much fun. Flip the card.
Yep.
Face down. Take all of the used enemy attack cards and place them in. Oh, sorry.
I was like, that would have tweaked me the hell out if they did that. I would have been so annoyed.
So, my bad. So, I jumped over the blue line. Clearly, there's a line separating us, so you don't do that, and I did that. All right, so play your turn. The next enemy attack
trusted him with the rulebook?
Is the triangle, only affecting your mistling if it's adjacent to a tornado.
Yeah, this says deal 3 damage to each opponent within 1 range of a tornado, which is here, there, or there.
All right. Now your mistling is safe, and you can attack from a distance using Primal Shot. But you can do something even better.
Yeah, I can.
Instead of simply using Primal Shot and gaining only 2, what can you do, Steve?
I can put Offensive Stance in the discard pile first, and then use Primal Shot.
No.
I disagree.
Says you may use Synergy to gain more. So choose a Synergy card in slot 4. You're going to gain 3 from the slot.
You gain 3 stones.
Yep. Energy, yep. Then resolve the Synergy effect, which is Trigger, which means you can resolve an effect of another card. Resolve the effect of Primal Shot, but don't gain its energy from that slot. So Synergy essentially lets you gain the stones where it's located, but you can use the effect on the other card. So you can use the card.
I disagree with that methodology, first of all, but because this literally says if this is the top card in the discard, get +1 attack.
But you can't discard that.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, if you did the bonus action first.
So I did the bonus action, discard that, and I would attack with 3.
Yeah, so
game.
Yeah,
I
so
did
here,
better than you did.
So here the correct action probably would have been bonus action because you can do that first. Discard this, boom, and then actual action use Synergy to get the 3, which then you can use Primal Shot to attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I combo 3 times. You only combo twice. Do better.
I think they're walking.
I love how you asked me and I found the scenario.
Well, you found the first part of it. Yeah. All right.
So we use Synergy.
So we're doing what they say. So you got the 3 already?
Yeah.
Okay. So the enemy is within range 2. So you're going to deal the range effect can apply. So deal 2 in range 2. So that must be damage. Is that
2? That's the damage. That's this little symbol.
Well, it's different because it's not red. Is there an actual word for this thing? So I can call it by what it is.
They gain damage tokens. So that's deal damage, and then they gain damage tokens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it hits. We'll see if it's. So you're gonna deal 2 damage. So deal the damage effect that they can apply. Whatever. Anyway, so deal 2 damage to the enemy. It says right there. Deal 2 damage to the enemy minus its willpower, which is 0. So put 2 damage markers on the Frightened Windrazor's card.
And willpower is the other shield, the one with like a symbol inside of it. So you have defense and you have willpower. So 4 goes to 6.
It should have 5 hit points left.
Left, yes.
Yes.
I hate how that's set. That was like, wait, no, that's 6. I did the math. 4 plus 2 is 6.
Discard Primal Shot, and then discard Synergy.
Slide over, slide over.
Oh, interesting.
What?
I wonder why it said to do it in that order.
What? You can't do in the other order.
It just said discard Primal Shot and then discard Synergy.
Oh, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh mechanic.
So the one that's used
that's a
last
chaining
goes down.
mechanic.
So the one that's used most recently goes down
yeah,
first.
so Yu-Gi-Oh did that where if you chain, let's say 4 cards, the one that resolved first. Well, yeah, so the most recent resolve, gets discarded first and then so on.
Got it. That's probably very important to know because it's probably something like this that it has an effect and then it also has a passive effect as well later on. Okay. End of turn. Slide the focus and offensive cards to the right, which we did. Fill the empty slots with new cards from your deck. So it should be Frostbite and Sap Warmth. Perfect. All right. Enemy's third turn. Slide the enemy attack card from slot 1 to slot 2.
Oh no, they
to the
get a
right.
special ability.
Boom, 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 boom. Place the top enemy attack card in slot 1. Look at the card and compare its symbol to the ones listed on card 178. Okay?
Yep.
Your Mystlings is not in range 1 from a tornado, so the first effect does not apply. Okay?
Okay.
Retreat means that the enemy will move away from your Mistling using its full move value. In case of a tie, you decide where it goes. Do that now. What's its retreat range?
Yeah, 3.
Got it. So, oh, it has you way over here. Wait, did you set that up weirdly? No, it's set up right. Interesting. The map on this is mirrored.
Yeah.
The picture's
that.
wrong. That's hilarious. Perfect. So flip the card in slot 1 face down.
Yep.
Okay. Since there is an enemy attack card above a special ability token, resolve the Frightened Windraiser special ability listed on 170A.
Which is blink to a space with a tornado that is farthest from the opponent. It happens to already be there.
So if you would have moved somewhere else, you would have gone there anyway.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. That works out. So place Frightened Windraiser in the rightmost space. The tornado token there as the farthest one of the Mistling. Blink means the Mistling is simply placed in the given space. It's not considered moving. Okay, so take all the enemy attack cards and place them in the discard pile. Interesting. The slot to the right of the numbered slots.
Oh, which makes it counts up until it gets to this, and then boom, and then it would count up to this again to use another special ability.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
the end of the track.
Pokemon does that too. It's like you gain to use your powerful ability.
Yep.
And then it resets to 0. Yeah.
Okay. Player's final turn. That's a spoiler. This one we're gonna kill it. A new type of cards have appeared in your slot. These are Mistling specific cards that can only be used by the corresponding Mistling.
It says it right on the card too.
Yeah. They have effects matching their specific element and the playstyle of that Mistling. The enemy is far away, so you want to prepare for ranged abilities. Depending on which Mistling is fighting by your side, you can win this combat in many different ways. Your Mistling special ability is expensive, but you have managed to collect enough power to use it. Play this turn yourself. Try to finish closer to the enemy and use your special ability to defeat the enemy. If you are not sure how to achieve a victory in 1 turn, try to win in 2 turns or check the resolution on page 15. Not going to give the hint. So then if the enemy deck becomes empty at any moment, you will gain 1 fatigue and place it on the top of your discard pile. Fatigue cards are not removed after combat. They are stuck in your deck for the duration of the scenario and can be removed either by playing them during combat or by in-game effects during the adventure. So if a fatigue card goes on this, which we have in there, and then it stays there until we're done this scenario or like chapter, whatever it is, or unless it's played and removed that way. So ignore gaining fatigue during the first combat. You're learning the ropes, and it shouldn't carry over into your game. So reshuffle the enemy deck or attack cards and create a new enemy deck. Do not discard enemy attack cards from the track. So this is if the enemy deck becomes empty. So once this card comes over, you're going to get a fatigue.
Yeah.
Normally, not right now. And then you would reshuffle and boom.
Yeah. It took you too long to get the battle done.
But this would stay on the track.
Got it.
Okay. So finish combat. Take them out. All you.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a hint in here in the book, but 1, we don't need it. But 2, we like to play the game. Let's do this until you finish.
Well, I guess the question becomes, can I use the elemental bonus action, or do I need this symbol to use this?
Elemental bonus action. So I think you need a symbol, just like he does.
Just like he does for a special ability?
Yeah.
Or no, because he doesn't need that symbol. That was just this.
Oh, you're right. So flow. Move the opponent by its move value and heal 1. I don't know. Didn't go over elemental bonus action, so I assume we're stuck with...
We're going to do without doing it. Okay, that's fine.
But I would assume that you would probably need to have collected that element in some way. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, you can use it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
that's literally the hint, is try using flow.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense. So I'm going to use 4 stones. to use flow. So flow, I get to move the opponent, its ability, so it's 3 range. 1, 2, 3, and I get to heal 1.
Nice.
That was my pre-turn, but not pre-turn, my pre-attack bonus action, pre-card use bonus action.
Yep.
Now I will use Sap Warmth. So I gain 2 for using Sap Warmth. I get to deal 2 damage in range 2. Boom, boom.
Nice.
So 1, 2. And that will be... Oh, interesting. So do I discard this now, right after the attack's done?
No,
Is
at
that
the
the order
end.
of operation? That was
At
the
the
end.
end.
So this stays here. Interesting. Was it really at the end? It wasn't right after the attack we discarded?
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. So say choose synergy, slot 4, do everything, enemy within range effect, deal damage, then discard the things and end the turn, which is
No.
sliding everything over.
But go to the first example where we used prepare. Or we used move. Sorry, the second example. This one.
So now you should attack, so gain 3 from the slot, resolve pummel card, defense, discard pummel card. Now, so you discard right after, before bonus.
Okay.
Yep.
So I discard. I am then going to spend 1 to prepare. This allows me to discard a card. And now I will finish my turn.
So you discarded it, you didn't use it.
Correct. The opponent goes.
Yep.
So this becomes active now.
So here you would normally get a fatigue card on top of your deck, but the tutorial said not to do that.
Yep. So he's going to retreat again. So he moves back here.
Oh. Why didn't you do this?
Okay, I couldn't. I did this one. I can only do 1.
No, you can do 2 bonus actions. Instead of doing
Oh,
one,
afterwards.
you could have just killed him.
Because it would have dealt 3.
Yep.
Well,
With
we're
the
going to kill him
range
this
two.
turn.
Yep. So what Steve could have done, so there's a special bonus, the special ability bonus action, right, which takes 6 of these to do. So he did the right thing, using flow first, right? 4 to get him over there, bada 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 boom. And then the action that he took initially, which was Sap Warmth, gave him the 2 back, because it was in that slot, and he dealt 2. And then he could have used Cold Drain, which cost 6, they would have had again, to deal the remaining 3 damage.
I could have done it.
It's all good. That's why they said play, so you
Yep.
can learn. That's why they told you about fatigue, like if things happen here. It was good. All right. So he went, right? So this flips upside down.
Yes.
Now that he's finished his thing, you reshuffle this.
Or you shuffle now or at the beginning of his next turn?
No, right now. So it's right when it runs out.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's because you're always going to be able to see what's on top here
That's,
to prepare.
okay.
And then you...
Oh, now I screwed myself. Yeah, I did. All right, we're here to test it out. And you may
So-
discard another card.
boom, 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 right?
I don't have enough.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Use 1.
Oh yeah, I need 6 for that one.
Yeah, look at 1 to
4.
dash.
No, it's 4.
No, 1 to dash, to move. 1, 2. Then you do
Oh, that's
focus
true.
to
Yeah,
move,
yeah.
and then you do the thing.
Okay, so 1 to dash. So I'm gonna move 2 spots. 1, 2. Yes, then we will do focus, which gets me 3.
Yep.
Oh, I keep thinking that costs 3.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move 2 spots again.
Ooh. And when you use
I
this,
can discard another card.
you may discard another card.
Yeah.
So that's where, like,
That's
could
where
discard
that.
that.
Yeah. But now I'm gonna spend 6. And deal 3 damage. Dead.
boom, Gonzo, Rhea.
But I get a fatigue, which is what symbol?
So you don't get it right now. So the moment that deck ran out
Yeah, what's
on
the
his
fatigue
turn,
symbol?
it's a card. So you want to pull that.
Oh,
it's
it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. I remember that.
it's in the very front, I
it is
think.
a trigger.
Yep.
Boom.
So the moment that the enemy deck ran out beforehand, so before this turn, this card would have gone right here onto the discard pile.
Which, yeah.
And it says here, the only way you get rid of fatigue is if so this will stay in your deck during the entire scenario you're playing, adventure side
Yes.
and combat side. So that means next time you go into a battle, it's going to be there. So essentially what it's going to do is it just takes up a slot that's here. So the only way to get rid of it is by a adventure moment telling you to get rid of it.
Or focus.
Or by simply, focus, or by, well, that just discards it.
Or at least it gets out of the slot. That's not taking up the slot.
Yeah, but you could also just play this and it removes it from the play.
True.
So this was here.
Yeah,
you
can gain the
choose
stone.
a turn to gain stones, and this gets removed.
True.
But
all right, so
so now here it said.
Yeah.
I was supposed to
Player
end
2.
of combat here for you. So end of combat. If you manage to deal enough damage to defeat your opponent, congratulations! It's time to follow the instructions on the arena card. Look at the bottom of the arena card below end of combat.
Oh.
You have won. So you can go to script A26 in the adventure journal. There you will find information on how to clear up the arena and how the story unravels after you win. Now it's up to you if you want to continue playing the scenario or play this combat again on your own, which we highly recommend. If you do, follow the setup instructions from the guide with 2 challenges. Shuffle together the enemy attack cards to create a random enemy deck, and then shuffle together the mistling action cards.
Okay.
Cool. And then we can look at the 2-player rules. And
so I'll do the 2-player rules, then I'll read A26, which is the win combat, and shows up how to deal with this board.
Nice.
So 2-player rules. Each player controls their own mistling in a 2-player game. The turn order is slightly different since the first player resolves their turn first, then the second player, then the enemy. So straightforward, just like ISO we just did.
Yeah, but that's nice though, because some games have a snake pattern to where it'd be
back and forth,
one enemy, then you, then an enemy, then the other character, then the enemy. Then
some of the components are also designated for 2 players, marked with a 2 on the little person icon.
Mm-hmm.
Players also use taunt tokens to mark who will be the target during the enemy attack. The taunt token, it's good old snake eye here.
Nice, that's fun.
So setup, use the arena. Use the arena on the other side of this mat. So it's the same looking arena. It just says a little 2 right here with a person. Indicates a 2-player arena.
Yep.
It does not have a space for the enemy sheet because we'd be fighting each other or a general thing, not an enemy deck like this. Enemy attack cards. Use the enemy deck marked with the 2. So enemy attack cards over here, there's some of these marked with the 2. You'll be using those. The deck has a slightly different layout. Containing information about the target. 2-player versions of attack cards with the same symbol are not identical. So just pay attention to the cards.
I wonder, the enemy attack.
It's going to be like on the side.
Yeah, it must be on the side.
I think it was. There's markers. Major corruptions. Find and attach a major corruptions card listed in the adventure journal to the opponent. Those are over here. It's a purple deck of cards. It says major corruption. Major corruptions increase enemy stats.
Ooh, look at that.
So the way it shows here in the example is if you have this, you would attach this just like that, and they would get an increase.
11 plus 12.
Yeah.
Nice.
So starting places. One player places their mistling in starting space 1. The other gets starting space 2. Nope, I read that wrong. One player places their mistling in 2. The other gets 3. The enemy gets 1.
So on this board you won't see it because the 3 is going to be the other side. Yeah.
There's a help cards. So these same 2 cards I had, there's a set with number 2 on them. So player 1 gets 1 set, player 2 gets the other set.
I zoomed in for you guys. So yeah, these have another set with a number 2 on them.
And then we choose which one of us gets that taunt token to start as first player. Who will get targeted first as well.
Cool.
Turn order. The player with the taunt token resolves first, then the other player, then the enemy, then come back to the player with the taunt token and repeat. Whenever a player deals damage to the enemy and they don't have the taunt token, take it. So it's the aggro token.
Aggro, yep.
So taunt becomes aggro.
Makes sense.
Lose condition. Players lose when one of their mistlings has equal to or more damage than its health.
Okay.
When the enemy deck runs out, only the player with the taunt token takes the fatigue card.
Makes sense.
Use the enemy attack cards with the 2. These cards will show you what the enemy will do, but you won't know which player will be targeted. The target is chosen after sliding and drawing the cards. Okay. So it just has an indicator on the card here based on who has the taunt token on who it attacks. This is example of a solution for the final round. So right there. And then the back's just the adventure tags. So as we said before, it goes through a bunch of this. This card here at the combat tags goes through all the combat stuff. So you have these player aids available for you.
Yeah.
Now the fun part. What is the end of this story?
Yeah.
The wind.
A winter.
Mistling. Stops fighting. And you approach it and place your hand on its semi-corporeal arm. It looks into your eyes. What?
Corporeal.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Know that word.
It means like ghostly.
Sure. It looks into your eyes and lets out a poignant wail. It suddenly towers in shame and rushes behind the turbine.
Oh, it's embarrassed.
Wedging
the
its
turbine, not turbine. Oh my god. It's a windmill.
Wedging its flexible body into a dark crevice. It seems the crisis is averted for now. You sink into the ground with your companion, both panting heavily. The wind razor was fast, and the struggle took a toll on you. You should be enjoying an evening meal now, not fighting your proteges. All right, so it says add card 174A to the binder.
Oh, all right.
Which you got up here.
Yep. So 174A going into the binder.
You heal 6 if you needed to heal. Obviously, that's not going to matter for the end game because we're going to restart at 0 anyway.
Yep.
Then you get to choose one. Would you like to try to calm the wind razor's nerves or focus on the situation at hand?
Oh, I chose last time. Your choice.
Focus on the situation.
Okay.
No, we got time for empathy. You hope there are no other crises. Move on to A2.
A2. Brute.
Oh, hell yeah. You finally have time to look around. People are still scared, but there are only a few visible consequences of the tremor. A crumbled wall, a machine grinding unpleasantly, flower pots toppled over windowsills.
Joe Biden.
But all the mistlings gradually calm down. Still concerned, you approach 2 rangers helping an old man to his feet. Their job is to protect Caterburg from dangerous creatures, and you have often joined forces with them. They greet you with respect for your position as chief tamer, and together you decide what to do next. They will make a quick renaissance. A quick recognizance.
Quick renaissance. Just really quick. We're gonna
go to medieval times.
Just gonna paint some stuff.
They will make a quick reconnaissance around the city to check if mistlings are causing a quake. Your job will be to ensure everyone in the quarter is safe and technology is not in danger. You will meet at the Shaded Tavern in 1 hour. So we're going to hang out with you for an hour till the next action. Follow these instructions. Clear the arena. Discard all components from the arena. Place your action deck in the mistling tray. So this is our specific action deck. Along with any gain fatigue cards. Place your mistling cards with all of its damage in the mistling compartment. Discard all of the amber gems. So let's just go back into the thing. Do not discard damage. Place the enemy cards behind their corresponding divider. So the frightened will go back into the stack here. That will go back into the wind razors area of the box.
So damage stays with you.
Damage would stay with you. Obviously, we specifically are starting from 0 to actually start the campaign.
So I guess the damage you could put what, like at the bottom of this, or?
Yeah, on the side. It's just the little things. Or just mark it on the stat bottom of the stat sheet, like we do in other games.
That's probably good, yep.
All right. So we discard all this. So this would all come off as well. And then this moves out the way. Cobbled square would go back into our set here. Boom. Gain 1 silver. Each mistling would gain 1 of the gems. So specifically, you have to follow an order. So any gems you gained in the mission or in the combat, you would discard. Now you will gain 1 per mistling in the fight. Open map 0-1. Place 1 item. Place the item, secret, and equipment decks in your play area. So we already have those off to the side here.
Cool.
Prepare tokens and place them near the play area. Place secret 13 face down in the event slot. Timer at 3. If you have empathy, then you would do a time movement. We do not have empathy. And you know what would have gave empathy? If we calmed his nerves.
Nice.
So it's good. We don't have to worry about the time. And then begin the exploration.
Cool. So this is a lot of fun. I'm not gonna tell you where it's at, but so there is a secret number on this map.
I want to look at this stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yes, it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My
it's
favorite number.
if you look, it's pretty easy to find. I'm sure it's easier on some other than others.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool. Very very easy to grasp, which is fun. It'd be very easy to get out to the table.
Yeah.
To play and everything. And then it seems like each character will play differently. Did you know that there was I think it was like a 700 or almost $1,000 pledge for this, which had completely painted miniatures?
That's crazy.
Insane. Like, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I saw the price. I was like, not that cool.
Yeah. Having miniatures over the little standees great.
For sure.
But I don't need them painted.
And I'll take the sun drop. I'll pay the extra 60 for the sun drop.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like that price to have them fully painted professionally, awesome. Like, yeah, absolutely. If you have the money, for sure.
Yeah,
Super cool.
Yeah, I don't need that.
But I'm good.
Yeah.
But awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, so based on how things have been progressing, I would assume for Isofarian Guard, probably another month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
We should be closing in on the end of campaign number 1.
Yeah.
Ascendancy shouldn't take that long. It should only take about 5 sessions, I think.
Well, even so, once Isofarian Guard's next, I think we're planning once we start Ascendancy to bounce
between this and Ascendancy,
back and forth,
and then after Ascendancy's done, either Tidal Blades or Kings of Ruin. We'll
probably Tidal Blades. It's probably going to be 2 lighthearted ones. That'll be kind of nice to kind of go through. I think for Tidal Blades, we'll actually do Heroes of the Reef first on stream because that's like the first part of the story, and then dip into that. But
that's a 1-player one too. Oh,
2-player. Yeah, 1-4. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that rulebook rundown, aka also a tutorial, the way they did it. So it wasn't the traditional like reading through the entire rule book. They gave you a good gist with that right there. We'll probably still look through the rule book and read through that just to get that whole thing for ourselves. So feel free to do that yourself as well. We're not going to do a separate video for that. I think this is pretty clear enough, and this is way more fun to watch. So yeah, pretty excited. Like I said, we will have a third of these dragons at the very beginning when we do start, instead of just those 2.
We'll put these away then.
Yeah, we can separate them all.
Yeah.
And stuff. But alright, thanks for joining us here at Bald and Board Games for our rulebook rundown of Dragon Eclipse by Awakened Realms. I'm Bald.
I'm Bored.
Tame your dragons.